Traders, my friends, what is going on? Welcome back to another video. Today we're going to go over some important things that we went over last week. If you did not tune into the weekly overview that we posted, I will leave a link just about right here. But we did go through, and we will go through this week, just going over the major projections that we have outlooked for the major currency pairs that we are actually looking for. So things related to the pound Canadian. These are the main lines that we will be working with regardless. You can see we're on the daily time frame. Yeah, there we are on the daily time frame. We're just looking for our moves that will support the greater direction that we actually have. So let's just start at the top with the euro pound, and let's pull out our Discord. So just have a quick look at what's been happening from last week. So our first pair here, the euro pound, we can see that we were coming up to a resistance area where we would see our way either to the higher resistance or back down. And from there, let's just check it out. So you can see we were at the previous resistance and we did come back down, not all the way, but just down to the next support there and back up to the resistance. So our last day on Friday was a bearish candle that engulfed the previous one. So that's a traditional engulfing candle. We can look for that to do as things were before and look for the downtrend candle at least back to this area here, and then we will try to consider down this, just because last time we were in this area we didn't actually go fully to the bottom. And you know, from our first actual posting, we were looking for that 40 pip range to be completed, right, when we were back down at that area. So this is just what we're really looking for especially the euro pound. We can see the resistance get rejected back down to the support, and I will have all of these posted over here in the Discord. So if you're not in the Discord already, do hit the link below and get into the Discord, because I will be sharing all of these, and as well as the trades that I actually go about trading. These will be posted in the Traders Club, which will be available at the start of next month. On the weekend, I will open this up to everybody, and all the information and everything will be available on the website thepipacademy.com. And let's just go over the other pairs. So our next one would be Euro Australian. Let me just grab the right pair. Euro Australian, and we do have it marked up. Yeah, so Euro Australian, we do have the markup from breaking above the resistance, 3 candles back in it, not below it as of then. And then our most recent information on this, that last candle that we had actually closed bullish, and then we can see the bullish activity continued on, and we did retest that support. So as it is now, we're going to look for this to continue in the direction it's been going upwards, especially if we look at the weekly candle. The last 3 weeks have been bullish. Let's just look to carry this up, see where we can actually go into. I would put it back down to the daily just to see if what structure is actually present. So we have something like this where we just have a hiccup in the market. Is that our next zone that we can run into? And then we do have what I would say is a moment that we just broke above right here, right? And these things are done from the daily time frame, the weekly time frame, and these give me the general perspective of the market, the general direction I'd be looking to actually place my trades in. So look to see how we deal with this. We'll be operating from the lower time frame, you know, the 15-minute, the 30-minute, just to be able to actually scope out our opportunity. I don't really like this zone too much. I know it's really thick, but I would just look for mainly a break above this area. Right, once we can get a break above that, we can look to dip back and below these areas. But just keep in mind the idea of the wicks kissing, the wicks touching from place to place, so we can always come back down into an area like this just to have the wicks connect. You know, we do have this wick that connected everything below, so even this would be a possibility. All the other wicks below have touched and interact and completed themselves, even if it's just something like this, right? All of them that have been broken through to the upside have come back down to touch them, and the same thing with the downside. Everything that breaks to the downside is come back up to interacted with. Do we have any cases, especially like things like this? Break, retest, continue down. So we're just going to be mindful of that whole setup as we look at everything here. So finally, to simplify, the pound Australian, we're looking for this bullish activity to continue, as we do have a majority of bullish candles within the last few days. Today's the 12th, so just about maybe the last month it's been straight bullish activity. Not straight bullish, but majority, so about last 20 days, 20 business days. Sorry, 20 days, about 14 business days. Let's get that gone. Go down to the next pair. So we have the pound Canadian, and we do see the bullish pressure we do see the bullish pressure stacking up there. We're still really in this range of consolidation, right? We want a clear breakout above. So far we are sitting above this. We'd look for this action to want to continue to the upside. As I did mention before, let me just clear up the chart. This is why it's important to actually see the chart itself and not the indicators that a lot of people clutter on there. But even things like this area, I would look to see if price would get filled, continue back into the upside. You know, during the market hours, I'm looking for a big state of confusion or some type of mess up in the market. You know, I do mention that there is that oh fuck moment where people are at a state of disbelief, whether that's just in real life or displayed in the markets themselves. And from that, I know one of the easiest and best times to actually get into your position would be during a time when everybody's giving their things up, a time when there is availability for the product, there is space, and all of these types of things. So apart from that, this is the 1 hour time frame. Let's just go to the daily. Yesterday was a bullish day. Let me delete these. As long as we stay above and not below these areas here, we'll be looking for price to increase back to its previous highs. And if not, if we do fall and close, let's say with a bearish candle back in here, followed by a bearish rejection, then we can look for price to settle back down to the support. And then we would reconsider the same situation given the candles that would be provided, whether that would be for a rejection or for a break and retest back to the downside. But these are our key areas that we're looking to play with. Let's just go down. So we've seen the pound Canadian, what we've been doing. So we've just been consolidating between this area, looking for that bullish pressure, the main pressure, to be able to hold itself out here. Let me just delete these. And you can look at the weekly and get a clearer view. So yes, the last 3 weeks have been bullish candles. They have been small candles, indecisive candles, I would say, but they do close bullish. In comparison, especially with the fourth week there, which is a strong bearish candle, I would still just be looking for the bullish pressure to continue, as what is currently happening is an increasing price. So I'm just going to look for that to follow through until we actually have a bearish week, kind of like this red one there. And even if we went from this bearish candle to the next one, there would still be bearish opportunities, even though the week would close green. Just because, you know, price at some point was a high of here and a low of down here. Now, apart from that, we have the pound Swiss, which did close as a indecision bearish candle there. Let's take a look at our Telegram, at our Discord, what was going on. So we did come back up to the green area, battled with price down below. This is the daily time frame. So since coming back down, we've just settled back at the support, you know, really banging in with this support quite a few times. We do have one intersection here, 2, 3, 4, 5. So price is really beating up there like it wants to be down to the downside. We do have the extreme areas right around here. So I look to see if price wants to wipe these out. So far that we are staying above, I would be looking for those buying opportunities. We have multiple things. So we have an area of support. We actually have a bullish candle rejection of that support. and there is a lot of validity to this zone. Like I mentioned, we have 5 rejection of there, and then from the weekly time frame, looks like that support does last a bit longer with this area, right? So, and we did go from bearish candle, bullish candle, bearish candle, still holding at the support, and then we get an indecision candle. So it's a changing of times, it's a process of funds going on at the moment. We can just see from the weekly time frame. So we're just going to still go with the general pressure here to take this pair up to the upside. And you can even see, let's go to the weekly real quick. So bullish week, so if we go from last week and just going off rejecting the support that we're actually having there, we can see that there's multiple opportunities within the week, especially from the lower time frame as well, to be able to take long opportunities and find some capitalization there. So let's just clear that up, and let's go down to our next pair here. So we have GJ, and here with GJ, it looks like our chart did not clearly load. Let's just see what we actually have before that. So our GJ before, we did have a rejection of the support, and we're looking to see that from this one, this was 2 weeks ago, we're looking to just see the bullish pressure increase. We do have, like I mentioned, support, and then this support does hold. There is a momentary break of it, and then it just decreases the value, the validity of the actual zone. Maybe there would be continuous breaks and continuous breaks and just disrespect of the zone, just showing no weight, no actual validity, then we would have to readjust the zone. But in this case here, let's just read what I actually have written here for this. So GJ once more sitting at the support of price while losing bearish momentum, and at the current moment looking for buying opportunities with the market resistance above. So let's take a look at what we have. And so yeah, we did have that bullish pressure come in. So this is where the last candle, the last picture that I showed ended, this candle here. And so we've had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 since then, still holding at our support. And then we'd had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Bullish from support to resistance, and that's a break of resistance. So we can look for price to come down a bit just to be able to continue back to the upside, you know, gain some more energy. I would see not just a hold of this area here as we're breaking through it, but I would look to see, just given the actual structure that forms, if we'll have a retest of this area here. And like I mentioned before with those other things, the connecting of wick, so we don't have anything that comes back down into this area yet. So if we did have something dive a little deeper there, and then we could see price continue up. But look at the weekly time frame, right? Look at the weekly time frame. I've been calling this bullish, we've been holding at the support, and now we're going bullish. So this is going to be posted in the Discord, and everybody can follow up with this there, and I will, from this information, show the actual trades that I'm getting into. GN, let's go in and take a look. So from the weekly charts, we do have the bullish pressure that we've been seeing come in as we've been rejecting the support. So here I have, since breaking above the resistance, we formed 2 doji indecision candles, but the resistance would not yet have a clear indication of the bearish momentum. Plus the weekly pressure is bullish. Looks like I have a lot of typos here, but it does say here sharing the week, looking for buys. So during the week, yeah, we're looking for buying opportunities. We've broken above the resistance, looking for the resistance to hold, and ta-da. Daily time frame, let's go take a look. So we have that resistance that held, right? We broke above, came back down a little, and then price pushed up over the last 5 days. We have 1 indecision candle there, but between every day we can be looking on the lower time frames for these bullish opportunities. I go through them. That's what I'm showing over in the Discord, and I think this one clearly and easily says what is happening here. We're taking that higher time frame move, right? Weekly candles pushing bullish, still looking for more bullish activity. What do we have to the left? Look at that. This is the same thing I was talking about in the first video. If you look the last video towards the beginning, I would have been discussing the pre-week here, and I'm like, if we do break above this area, we can get a retest of it somewhat back to the support, but then our next range is all the way up here, and that's a good 550 pips above where we were at the moment, or currently. Right, so we're setting up for an where we already were setting up for an opportunity for a long run here. Last but not least, let's go over to GU, and I'm just like, what do you see here? I've marked up the rise on the, I've marked up the rise to the resistance. Firstly, then with a push pressure, then with two push pressure above the price, declining the main support below. So there we do have an area of support, which we don't come down fully to, but we do have a very deep cross right there, a deep doji candle. So there's a lot of bearish pressure, couldn't handle it, but bulls came in and settled the price at even, and then we've had a bullish day. So we're looking for price to come back up to that resistance and then be able to form things. So will we reject back to the downside, or will we continue back up to more resistances? And then from there, you can see last week was a bearish week, so it looks like we did, if anything, come back close to the resistance, right? Just as I mentioned there. So we did turn around before that, but our intended target was to come back to the resistance area and then look for price to turn around. So once we actually hit that resistance, then we can know move complete, and then we can start targeting. So this is a very tricky setup here, just because, let me just draw this in, go to the 4 hour for more detail. Let me also just start where the week starts. Okay, so the week starts here, and we would have been looking for bullish pressure. And while yes, you can take multiple opportunities on all these different type of rejections, right? Especially as price debt came back into this area, there was this opportunity to go long. But nonetheless, once we come back and connect, remember, make that kissing idea, which I explained in the first video, where we come back up to that area, count it as complete, and then we would be, even on the lower time frames, not necessarily taking day trades from the 4 hour, but I'm doing it in the general direction of this. And from there, then you look for shorts at least back to clear the previous low, right? And then we do have this as an area as well, which we can target. So yeah, it's just a rocky road in between the week to get up to that area to call this complete. There was 1 attempt, 2 attempts, 3 attempts just to actually make it up there. And so, you know, there's a lot of money that's lost during that process, and there's a lot of patience that dwindles and all those type of things. So, you know, just be level-headed, be conscious of the fact that you might lose a few times before you get there, manage the risk to reward. All those things have to make sense. And then if I just go into the trades, do I have any trades? So there, you know, we caught a little of the we caught a little of the XUSD fall, just how the pound USD was falling in that picture. So the Australian USD was falling as well, so I was taking that short. And then do we have anything else? So these were all bullish trades. There we did lose, so we took this opportunity, we lost it, we went long on it later, we won that position. But let me see, so GJ found bullish opportunity, so that was great. There is the setup of the market, and then you could see we did have the 127 pulse. So like I mentioned, looking for that extreme, looking for the wicks to connect and price to push up to the upside. Not going to make this video too long, guys. Thank you for tuning in. I really do appreciate it. I hope you guys have a wonderful trading week this week coming. Stay level-headed, take your proper risks, don't do something I wouldn't do. Let's put it that way. Thank you for tuning in. I really do appreciate it. Hope you have a good day. Peace.